Hello and welcome back to Subnautica with myself, Hollow. It's good to be back in game, but I've not actually been fully recording everything. So last time, if you recall, I may have made a base that pretty much sank right away. It was filled with water, and I really forgot about the core of base building, which is you gotta pay attention to how structurally sound it actually is. It has a certain health pool, and once you fall below that health pool, it begins to break and kind of be crushed by the pressure of the water, and then it fills up with water and you got to deal with that. And I figured I'm not quite at the level now where I can have a welder to deal with the water intake, and I think I'll redesign my base. So use what I should have used in the first place, foundations, to increase the core and the basis of the base to actually make it structurally sound and a lot better on the base health. And now we have this little tube thing. It is on the water surface. I don't want to build a tower just yet. My plan is to build a observatory or the glass room up and above. If we could get a pipe that goes up and then maybe a ladder. I don't know how high I can go. Maybe I'm not even able to do that, but I'd love to have an observatory or sort of a lighthouse in the air. That will be the dream, to build a sort of lighthouse. So it does have a couple of things inside of it. It's the only entrance right now, but we will fix that. I've just been gathering a lot of scrap metal and quartz, but we do have power. These are solar panels. If you're new to Subnautica, if you can power your base and give it energy to do things by giving it solar power. It's currently the main resource anyway. I'm sure they'll add more in the future, but for now, solar power all the way, and I have those 4 panels. They're actually quite easy to make. They don't require too much. We do have 2 lockers. They have varying things inside of it. As you can see, I've got lots of quartz and stuff in there, and the silicone that I've made. And in the other one, this is all of the resources I've been gathering off camera, just to sort of speed things along. We have a lot of metal salvage and a lot of quartz again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn that metal salvage into titanium. It's going to give me 4 per scrap metal. That's all stuff that's fallen off the ship, the main ship that we crash landed in, which we're going to go explore soon. Today I would like to see a few more new things while we can. Basically what we're going to do is make this sort of base a little bit more interesting, a little bit less boring to look at, because it's very basic right now with just the 2 lockers and this I can't remember what it's called. Fabricator. Just a fabricator and 2 lockers. We want to make it look nice. I've given it 1 window, but that's not enough. We want more than that. Every last bit of scrap metal into titanium, and now we have a bit of quartz to transfer into glass. Now the reason we're doing this, if I bring up the builder, is because we have different things to actually put inside of your habitat. So if we go to appliances, see that there's wall lockers, the smaller versions of lockers, but you can put them in different places, but we don't need those. We have signs, we don't need those just yet to label the rooms. And then we have picture frames, which are brand new. We have a bench, and we have an aquarium. So what we'll do is we'll make 2 glass out of the resources that we actually have. So that is 1 glass. That's what glass looks like, by the way, if you've not seen it before. And then you visuals. Don't know when they added those. Okay, so that's 2 glass. And we have an aquarium. Oh yeah, look at that. It's quite big. So we'll just put this in the corner here. This will give the room a bit more atmosphere, I guess. Oh, look at that. Use the aquarium. Oh, and I can put different... I bet I can go out and gather fish and put it in there. It does bother me, that water glitching through the ceiling. Whoa, it's dark all of a sudden. It does bother me, that coming through the ceiling, but it's not too bad. But I reckon we can go get different types of fish and put them in there, which would be very cool. But while we're here, before we do anything else, let's put a bench in the middle here. Apparently it restores energy. Now, is that going to restore health? Or is that going to restore food, water? I mean, I'd assume, if anything, it would be health that it would restore. Maybe it's not actually either of those things. Maybe what it does, let's read the description. Simple metal appliance conserves energy when resting. Maybe it's for people who are going AFK for a bit. So you come over here, you sit down, and you go away for a moment while you wait for something to tick over. You know, normally if I was going AFK, I'd just press pause and it stops the whole game in the world. But I guess if you want time to tick along for whatever reason, then you can sit on the bench, go AFK, and maybe that'll be sort of the purpose for it. In the interest of making this a little bit more symmetrical before we go anywhere else, I'd like to put one window here. See the solar energy? That looks very nice. Look at that. Yes. Yes. It's looking much more interesting now. Much better. Next thing we need to add would be the... what's it called? The picture frame. It requires 1 copper wire. How do you make a copper wire? You need 2 copper ore. Actually, I already had 2 copper ore, so we can make the copper wire. It only requires 1, I believe. There we go. Reviewing user status. Nutrient and hydration levels okay. You've successfully fabricated appropriate tools, resources for your short-term survival. Continue to monitor the Aurora for threats and opportunities and prepare for rescue. So there's little tool tips when I reach certain things. It lets me know, oh hey, by the way, good job. Here's where you're at. Here's what you should look out for. Kind of neat. Alright, so pitch frame. We just put it like above the bench, like right in the middle here. I want to cover this as much as possible. Now, how these work, I believe, what you need to do is have a screenshot and then you transfer it from your photo album. So, what I'll do is I'll take a picture, a screenshot of the Aurora at day, and then that'll be the nice sort of thing to remind me, you know, where I came from and what the next objective is, which is the Aurora, the main ship that we landed from. I'm climbing on top of the pod here. There's the Aurora. The sun's coming up. This seems like a good time as any. F11. That screenshot messed with my fraps a little, but I think it worked. So let's find out how you actually place
Welcome aboard, Captain.
this. It should be fairly simple. Yeah, look at this. I got a screenshot of my menu because of it. But look at that picture. Wow, look at that. Okay, upload, I guess. And then I guess it was instant. Wow! Look how smooth that was. Like, if I wasn't recording with fraps, it would have been just like, you know, that. It was nothing. But that was very smooth. That's a really nice screenshot. The sunrise, the ship. Oh, man, the moon. The moon! Oh, I love the moon. Okay, wow. That was easy as hell. I reckon we could get some really nice screenshots by traveling, exploring. This is a brilliant game for screenshots. And now there is a reason to do it. Other than your own personal game, like a visual thing in your base, in your home. I bet we can get a lot of these going around and give this place a really nice feel. So what I'm going to do before we progress anymore is fill up this aquarium with some fish, just to give it that final touch, that final nice, like, filled up feeling. I think we'll try and get 1 breed in there. I'm assuming it actually works like this, by the way, but I mean, I would think it does. So we'll try and get 1 like type or breed in there each time. So we'll start with the boomerang fish. Okay. And then we're going to look for the other ones. So maybe a Gary fish. Oh, look at this one. I don't find these often. What are they called, actually? I don't know. It's called a hole fish because it's got a hole in it. I don't find these often, but they look fucking hilarious. I think we found this once in the original playthrough. Holy shit, look at it. It looks amazing. Here we go. This is the last one that I need. So actually, I already have a couple of these. But I'm, as you can see, quite hungry and quite thirsty. And I've been using these for water. There's other ways to gain hydration. A reliable one was the suit. But right now, I need the radiation suit when I go over to the ship. So how does this work exactly? So we take an air sac. Look, it's in there. You can actually see it swimming around. We'll take boomerang. Another one. We'll take the whole fish and the Gary fish. And then we'll try and find a peeper and, I guess, like, get all the breeds. And look at that. It has, I think, made them smaller than they normally would so that it would fit in there. So we actually have 8 more fish to find, to grab, to fill the aquarium. So a little side objective for us to do while we do the series. That's really nice. And it adds this nice level to it. And again, I'm really enjoying, like, this feel we have. Like, compare it to the room down here. If I show you the completely blank room. Like, there's just nothing going on in there. And in here we have windows, the picture frame, the storage, fabricator, and of course now the aquarium. You know, there's not too much going on, but it definitely adds a new level of comfortableness, I guess is the word I'm going to use, to the room. Okay, let's have a quick nom and drink. There we go. 80% around there on both of them. Feels good. Looks good. So, now, I think the next thing we should focus on is getting ourselves a Seamoth. A Seamoth is very important. You know, you basically have a mini sort of submarine that allows you to travel at much faster speed than your normal swimming. And it'll take me to different areas, much more dangerous areas in fact, but essentially deep water where I will find new resources and more important things to basically allow me to explore and get further in the game. Speaking of looking for other species of fish for the aquarium, we just found Peeper. Awesome. So I actually have, how many fragments was it? I believe it was 4 out of 5. I've scanned 4 out of 5 fragments now. So we just need to find one more Seamoth fragment. And I think I can see one. That was fairly quick. They're quite big now. I think they've increased like the size of these. Yep, Seamoth fragment. So there's all different types of fragments that allow you to unlock new technology and new things. And I'm looking forward to actually using them and seeing what changes have been done in the different patches. So we now have the Seamoth blueprint. So if I go grab some air, and then we'll have a look at what the description of a Seamoth is. It's a one-person submersible, and it requires titanium ingot, power cell, glass, and lubricant. I believe I have access to all of those, but the power cell pretty much immediately. So what I'm going to do while I'm out here is try and gather a little bit of copper, because I believe power cells require a couple of batteries, and I don't think I've got any copper left. So actually, while we're right here, I can grab them. And it was also a new change that happened just around the time towards the end of the series, the original series, where you started needing lubricant for your machinery and tech, basically. What it is these cluster cells, or seeds, that are found in the green vine, the creep vine biomes. We find stalkers, lots of different types of fish. You can get silver there. And it's just kind of a cool zone, showing it off a few times. But the main thing is that these clusters will actually spawn there. And there's the big yellow sort of like things. Ah, here we go. There's actually a pack of those, what are they called? Let's find out. Gasopods. There's actually a pack of gasopods. Although, what would we even call them? You know how you have like a group of squid certainly should be called a squad, right? And then you got a group of crows, they're like called a murder. What would be a group of gasopods? Farts, I guess. Okay, so we have a little bit of space going on. Bit of a dangerous biome to be swimming around in, because of the stalkers. But here they are, look. These clusters. I think you can just grab them, right? Yep. And you just need a couple of those. You turn it into lubricant. I am actually out of space, so hopefully that's enough. I'm certain we're about to find out, though. Alright. Lubricant. I'm assuming it comes under basic materials. There it is. It only requires 2. I'm not sure how many lubricant we actually need, but I'll just stick with 1 for now. Lubricant source discovered. Lubricant is essential in construction of vehicles and power plants. Utilizing alien substitute materials in this manner is a proven survival strategy. Awesome. We need a titanium ingot, which is just 10 titanium. That's no problem. Check that new visual out. That looks cool as hell. So it gives me a lot more space. It's just a condensed titanium bar. A power cell and 2 glass. Well, I believe I can just get the glass now with the quartz that I currently had on me. This comes under electronics. We're going to need batteries, 2 batteries, and silicone rubber. I have all of this already stored away. So we just need 4 mushrooms. I do actually have some back in the other base in the pod, but it's alright. There's some right here. That's 4. Right off the bat. And that's everything we need now to make a Seamoth. But there is one problem. Once I make this power cell, we make 2 batteries, which look exactly the same. I'm wondering if they changed the visual for a power cell. I'm not saying they needed to, but I am wondering if it happened. It's just a high capacity power cell. Alright. Looks exactly the same. We have everything, but it's kind of one issue. One minor thing. You need a deployable machine to build it. That is, of course, the mobile vehicle bay. That requires titanium ingot, lubricant, power cell, and, of course, the blueprint, which we have. But that's alright. I knew that, and I'd already prepped that. So we'll go outside and place it. We will need a little bit more than what we've got going on, though, after that. Alright, we'll just place it somewhere, like over here. All we need to do is right-click it, and it just shoots right up. Oh, nice. We're going to be able to see the base. Actually, I'd like to face it another way. That should have enough space. We can turn it later if we need to, but it should have enough space. So we should be missing a little bit of stuff now. Let's just climb up, which will be lubricant, titanium ingot, and a power cell. So we need to make another one. That's unfortunate. I'm not sure I have the copper for that right now. Actually, I do. It only requires 2, fortunately. We're going to need 10 titanium. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we're going to need another lubricant. So 1, 2. And that should be everything. So let me just piece this all together and let's find out. Unless I forgot something, it should be. Oh, I've never actually built one at night. Excited to see how that works. There we go. Like if it lights up at night, it'd be cool. Oh, there we go. Got it all. Seamoth, baby. Looks so cool. Doesn't look half bad at night. It's not bad. Oh yeah. Have they changed anything about my Seamoth? In fact, I know they have. There was a Seamoth update, and I saw a picture where it was shooting rockets. I'm very intrigued by that. So there's the power cell. Power source for it. Looks amazing. Let's get inside.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
That sounds slightly different. Oh, yeah. And the light is so useful, especially now that they've changed the way night works. Look how powerful and useful that light is. My god, it's so much more useful than it ever was before. Like, it was useful in caves, you know, in places like that, but it was never this useful. Because it truly was a pain in caves and in darkness. But now that darkness stretches so much further than, you know, just the caves. So let's journey out a little bit and see what we can find in the dark. Might regret it a little bit. I'm hoping that there's a system now in place where there's like an in-game map. Maybe it shows where you've discovered. I kind of have like general knowledge of the world, but whoa. Whoa. Okay. I have general knowledge of the world, but remember, that was 6 months ago, and there's been a lot of changes since then. So who knows these days what's out there. Maybe there's new fish, new enemies, new threats. Those are always so cool. Look at them. Should be neutral. But again, who knows these days. Alright, I should really go back. God, when things like spawn in like that, it scares the shit out of me. Because I used to have a problem, and I don't know whether this happened to you guys when you played, but when I was traveling too quickly like that, things wouldn't load in time, right? So I would just be minding my own business, drifting around, and then something horrible would happen. One of those Leviathans would spawn, and it'd spawn right fucking next to me. Make its creepy ass giant yell or sound, and then I would be fucked, let's say. So I hope that issue isn't as bad, but honestly, I think I just saw it happen then when they spawned in. And I think this is maybe one of the fastest, if not the fastest, like, vehicles. So maybe in the Cyclops I won't see that issue, but you know, look at it, like things aren't loading in right now, and I'm on like really good settings. Like you see when that loaded in, and there, I don't really like that that's still an issue and still a thing that's happening in the game. I really hope they fix that. So if you have any advice for me on how to prevent that, maybe a change in graphics settings or anything of that nature, you know anything about it, do let me know. It might be very impactful. One thing that's really nice is that now at night, when it's all dark and stuff like that, that light actually stays on. It's like a solar powered light, and I've like lit up the base area. How nice does that look? So nice. Okay, so there's some sort of new Seamoth customizer in the game. I'm assuming that's where you unlock like the rockets and maybe the other changes to the Seamoth. But that might have to come in the future episode when we actually have one of those. For now, there was a little bit of tech that I saw, well, that I know has been updated, that I'd love to show off. And it is under deployables. It's the Seaglide. Now, if you remember, what it was this little machine, and you would hold on to it, and it would jet you forward and propel you forward. And it really wasn't that useful. It cost a lot of energy to run. It didn't make you move that fast, or much faster than normal swimming. And it was just kind of a waste of energy, besides the light that it had. Now, they've made some big updates to it. So we need a battery, need lubricant, and copper wire and titanium. Okay, we should have all the copper and everything we need. I also went out and grabbed a peeper. Let's put a peeper in here. That's 5 different breeds of fish in the aquarium now, all in one episode. Look at them go. Okay, right. So what we need is the battery and the copper wire. So we should have the copper wire. There we go. And then we should also have the battery. There we go. And then we should be able to make our first Seaglide. Very excited to see what the changes to this are. The Seaglide increases maximum underwater velocity to 9.5 meter per second and displays local biological something. If I bring it out by pressing 4. Oh, whoa! It's like a map, like we were talking about. Whoa, it's a lot faster. It's a lot faster. And this only costs batteries to use. Check that out. It like has like this map. Is there anything else I can do with it? Okay, so you right click, you turn the light on and off. Left click, nothing. Middle mouse button. Okay. If there's anything else I can do with this, let me know. But look at this. Holy shit. That's so like advanced, that technology. I mean, obviously, like, the technology, lore-wise, should be, like, amazing, right? But just in the game, I didn't know this was possible. I really hope there's something like this in the Cyclops now. Imagine that. Like a little beeping map. Maybe it's got, like, a wider, bigger range because you're in a bigger craft. I'm very excited to see what the changes with the Cyclops are. This is a really useful bit of tech right here I didn't even think about. Bear in mind, it does take up a lot of space in my inventory, which is an issue. But if I'm thinking about doing some short-range sort of traveling, journeying, that's so good. And, of course, look at the power bar at the right. That's, like, going down. We've already used, like, nearly 20%. See how fast it goes down. Only uses batteries, but can be pretty bad, that, you know, if you're not careful. Guys, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Saw a few of the new things. I'm excited to take that Seamoth next time and go do some real exploring. Go see maybe some of the new biomes and stuff like that. Yeah, definitely. Some of the new stuff in the new biomes and what new creatures there might be out there. Excited and horrified. Do let me know if there's any way to fix that like loading issue that I'm seeing. And otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you enjoyed the video. But before we go, one final look at that sweet sunrise. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.